How to install a DNM shock on your CRF110 the right way. Let's do it. The DNM MK-AR shock is one of the most popular out there for big bikes. It's affordable, offers adjustability, and does a great job. If you ride a TTR110, a KLX110, or the previous version CRF110, which is 2013 to 2018, these are basically a bolt-in and you're good to go. If you ride the current version CRF110, which is from 2019 onwards, it requires a small mount below your top shock mount. Some people out there on YouTube, maybe even your mates, they might say it's not needed and you can get the shock in anyway, which you can, but it's going to affect how the shock works, and most importantly, it's going to do a lot of damage to your actual shock. So right now, we're going to show you how easy it is, just with a couple of simple hand tools, to get that mount dialed, get your shock in, and get you on the way. First off, we're going to show you what you need to pull off your bike to make this job easy. Now, just keep in mind, this is actually a build that we've started again from the frame up. So there's a few extra bits on this bike that are currently off that don't need to be removed for this job, but we're going to show you right behind us what does need to be pulled off so you can make this job nice and easy. Okay, so what you need to remove from your bike before you start this job, firstly, is your seat. Once your seat's removed, take your shrouds and side panels off both sides and take your exhaust off. That will allow you to remove that stock rear shock and bring the new one in from the right-hand side of your bike. Now the fuel tank, right now we have completely off the bike, which is ideal, makes the job just that little bit easier. However, you don't need to completely disconnect it. If you want, you can simply undo these front and rear mounts and you can cock your fuel tank off to the side like so. That will allow you to do this job without disconnecting the fuel line below. For us, like we said, we started this build from scratch, so the fuel tank's already off the bike. Up to you. So you can see now at this point, you're gonna have access to get your old shock out and get your new shock in. So what we're gonna do before we finish off this mod is we're actually gonna put this shock in as it is and show you the issue you have. So if we slide this shock in right now, get that top bolt in, and you can usually, with a little bit of force, actually get the shock mounted. And a lot of people might go, yeah, cool, I'm good to go. So if you see here, if I push, there we go, we're actually in. What's happening right now is the gusset under the frame here is rubbing on your shock. And as your shock tries to go through its range of motion, and tops out particularly, that's gonna get worse and cause damage to your shock. So we're gonna quickly show you what the shock looks like after going in here, and then get on with doing that mod. So you can see here, the top of our shock now has these two little marks in it. And they've actually taken metal out of the shock. You can see that's from not much movement at all. So you can imagine how gnarly that's going to get if your shock stays in there and you go out and start hitting bumps, hitting jumps, etc. So what we have to do is get this little gusset just here and knock a little bit of material off the top of it so it'll clear. It's around about 3 millimeters that'll do the job. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to show you how to test and check that you're good to go. So to get this job done, all you need is a basic file. Now you can use other power tools like an air saw, Dremel, or an angle grinder, as long as it's got a big enough wheel to fit in. But we just want to show you how easy it is to do with a simple hand tool that nearly everyone has in their garage, or you can go down to the hardware store and get for nice and cheap. Okay, so we've been in here with the file now, and it's a little bit hard to get it to focus and see, but we've just filed both of those tabs down around about 3 mil. So that's about all you need. So it's probably 5 minutes work on the file and you're good to go. So it's really important to do it. And what we're going to show you now is a quick way to install the shock and actually check that you're all good clearance wise. Okay, so test time. We want to make sure we've got this right and we know our shock's going to be good to go. So we're going to show you how to do that. Firstly, the way you mount your shock, rebound adjuster at the bottom, this little bleed valve on the top, we're going from the bottom. So what we're going to do here is put the swing arm side or the bottom shock mount bolt in first, and then bring the swing arm up and put the top bolt in. And what we're going to be looking for when we do this, like so, is we want that to fall down and have this bolt easily go through. If anything, we want the shock to be a little bit lower hole-wise. So straight in, like so. If there's any resistance here, or you find you're really having to push the shock down to try and get that bolt through, that means it's bottoming out on that mount, and that we need to take a bit more out of that gusset to allow it to do its job freely. So once that's done, just take your 14 mil and your 17 mil, and we're going to tighten up both bolts. Now these nuts are a Fuji nut, so they lock themselves. So you can use Loctite on them, but it's not essential. And away she goes. So that's how easy it is to modify your frame on a 2019 and up CRF110 to allow you to install a DNM shock. If you decide to run a different shock in the future, this mod will have no bearing on that whatsoever. You still can do. So it's a quick and easy job, takes 10 to 15 minutes with tools that pretty much anyone has in their workshop, and you'll have a safely installed shock that will perform properly as well. These shocks are available as part of our Mini Racer heavy duty suspension upgrade kit that also comes with springs and damping rods. It's a whole kit in the box, or any other good specialty mini bike retailer will be able to get you sorted. So we're going to keep building this bike. As you can see, it's starting to look pretty trick, so we can't wait to get it all together and reveal that in the coming days. And in the meantime, happy riding. Thanks for watching.